It's funny how you progress from child to child. You know, you just get more and more lax and comfortable, and like I said, you realize which things are important and which aren't. The Drool Factory has opened up shop. Oh my word. It's Amanda with Eat Pray Crunch, and today is little Mr. Teo's 4-month update. You're 4 months old today. How about that? Yeah. And I have my little assistant off camera here. Little Sophie is assisting today, aren't you? I didn't make an update for 3 months, so he has changed a lot since his 2-month update. He is continuing to be a giant boy. We weighed him this morning, and he is 17.5 pounds. So he's a ½ pound off from doubling his birth weight. He was 9 pounds at birth, and he is now almost 18 pounds. That's crazy. This boy is rapidly growing. Like I said in my last update, his growth rate has just been insane. So he is a little chunk-a-munk. He's our little Michelin man. He just has nummy rolls galore. Look at all these rolls. Look at all those rolls. And look at those thunder thighs. Oh, I love him so much. I remember being concerned when Alex was a baby because he was such a chunky baby as well. Not quite as chunky as Teo, but I remember thinking, I hope that's not something he's going to struggle with his whole life. But then now, if you know, almost 5, he's like skinny as a rail. So like 3rd time around being a mom, it's like you know what you should worry about and what you shouldn't worry about, right? And this time I'm like not even worried about it at all, and I am just gobbling up this little guy in all those rolls of glory. He is a smiley little guy. Are you a smiley little guy? Mwah. He's just a happy baby. Thank you. So his height, weight, and head circumference continue to top the charts. He's definitely a tall and solid guy. He's like built like a linebacker. And yeah, but there'll be no football. No football for you. Too many head injuries. He is just thriving. We are still exclusively breastfeeding, and as you can tell, he is doing very well on breast milk, and he is starting to notice. I mean, he's only 4 months, and we're gonna wait till 6 months to start solids, but he is starting to notice food now. We have him set up in a little bumbo seat on our dining room table so that he can join us while we're eating, and he's definitely starting to notice now that, oh, the big people are like putting this stuff in their mouths and chewing it up. Like, what's going on? He's like starting to notice. Aren't you? Yeah. So he might be interested in food in 2 months' time, once the time is come. Speaking of breastfeeding, is it time to nurse? I think it is. As you can see, breastfeeding is going quite well. He nurses like a champ. As you can see, he has lots of reserves, which helps him to sleep at night actually, which is awesome. And we have also been doing, like I mentioned before, just very gentle sleep training all the way along, and a combination of him being a little chunky monkey and us doing the sleep training seems to be doing the trick for him. He was doing 1 or 2 feedings a night, like where I would feed him once before I went to bed, and then in the early morning he would wake up again and Bill would just bring him into our bed and I would nurse him then. So I know that, you know, part of the idea of sleep training is that you don't want to be like actively waking them up. If they're if the baby is sleeping, let them sleep. I would actively go in to feed him before I went to bed because I didn't want to wake up again later, but I was realizing that maybe that was waking him up even more. And so last night I was like, he was really tired last night, and that was just a one-time thing. I don't know if this is going to be a regular thing or what yet, but I was like, okay, I'm just not going to feed him tonight, and I'll see if he wakes up. And if he wakes up, it'll just be like the early morning when Bill brings him into me, and we'll just do that. But he didn't wake up and he kept going and going. He slept all the way until 8 a.m. He went to bed at 8 and he woke up at 8. So this kid last night did 12-hour stretch. It is awesome, awesome, awesome. So the combination of sleep training and his chunky reserves, he is doing really well with sleep. You know, I'm not holding my breath, but so far he seems to be moving in a really good direction. Another recent development is the Drool Factory has opened up shop. Oh my word. He has been our drooliest baby of all 3 of them, aren't you? We don't have a bib on you right now, but we need one because you're getting all damp. We basically have to keep a bib on him now at all times. We're actually going through like 3 bibs a day because he drools so much now. And I don't think it's teething. I remember thinking that like with the other kids, like when they started drooling, even though it wasn't as much drool as this, I remember thinking, you know, oh, drool, 3-4 months, maybe teeth are coming. And they didn't come until 6 or 7 months or whenever the teeth came. So it could be that they're just forming under his gums or whatever, but I'm not expecting actual teeth to pop through anytime soon. He's just, I think it's just a normal developmental thing to be that drooly. Speaking of drool, he's also starting to figure out his hands and how to get things into his mouth. He's starting to figure out that coordination now. He just thinks they're the most amazing thing ever. He's just amazed that he has these amazing little tools on the ends of his arms that do things for him. It's just like this amazing concept, isn't it? So that's been fun to watch. He does roll, although he did it when he was like 5 weeks old or something crazy like that, and he still does it, but he doesn't do it as much as he did in the beginning. It's like he can, but he doesn't choose to. But he has also been trying to go from his back to his tummy. Like when he's in his crib, he like kind of gets himself onto his side now. He hasn't rolled all the way over, but he's like getting onto his side. So that's a new development. He's now sitting in the little bumbo seat. He now has enough back strength that he is capable of sitting in the bumbo seat, like I mentioned. So he now joins us for meals, which is great. It's really fun having him on the table, and obviously we're doing it safely. It's like right in the middle of the table. He's within arm's reach. We're right there. He really just loves being a part of everything. Alex and Sophie are off camera here. You can just see him watching them over there. You want to do the things they do. Yeah. So he's definitely already aware of them and he loves them. He just smiles whenever they come up to him and talk to him and stuff. But he is also, you know, the victim of being the youngest one. Sometimes we have to protect his safety from his older brother and sister. Yeah, so things can get a little crazy sometimes. I'm at a point now where I don't feel perfectly comfortable just leaving him unattended while they are playing. Like, they're really good playing by themselves, but I don't necessarily trust leaving him in the room even for like a minute with them. Most of the time they're very caring and very gentle and very loving, but every once in a while things get a little rough. That's just the way it is being the third baby, isn't it? But he just adores them. He just looks up to them and is just watching their every move, and you can tell that he just wants to keep up with them. We recently, oh, this is so bittersweet, we got rid of the baby swing and the little bouncy seat, and oh, it's just such a bittersweet thing because he's our last baby and it's like we're finally starting to get rid of our baby gear forever. He's such a big baby that those things were getting kind of small for him anyway, and he's just developmentally, like, he has the back and the neck strength now that we got a jumperoo for him. I got it at the local children's consignment shop, so he loves that bouncer now. It's great that I can like put him in there now if I need to get something done, although I still, like I said, have to look out for his safety if his older brother and sister are playing near him. But he loves it in there. You know, it has little lights that flash and all the little things he can manipulate, and since he's starting to figure out how his hands work and all that, he just loves it. You can tell when he's engaged, he gets these like wide eyes and he's just like, whoa, what is this? And his demeanor is pretty much like this. I mean, he gets fussy when he's hungry and when he's tired. I mean, those are like, I get fussy when I'm hungry and tired, right? But most of the time, he's just this happy, chill little guy, just like this. This is how he is most of the time. You're just a happy little guy, aren't you? He definitely loves hanging with Mom. He's definitely the happiest when he's sitting in my lap, so he is in his happy place right now. But even still, he will, you know, sit in his jumperoo, or if I put him, you know, laying in the boppy. He doesn't like being on the floor for as long. I mean, I have the little baby gym with his little light that's up on top. And things that he can play with, you know, little dangly things that come down, and he will play in that for like 5 minutes, but then he gets a little tired of that. But as long as Mom is in sight, like, he's usually pretty good to go. You're a good baby. You're a sweet baby too. He's just getting so smiling. He laughs now too. In terms of napping, he seems to be kind of falling into a nap schedule now. I've mostly been focusing on night sleep with him, mostly because really have been working on getting him on the same schedule as his brother and sister. And we've been doing it without tears too. Like I said, the mild sleep training that we've been doing is just routine, doing the same thing at the exact same time, night after night, creating a sleepy environment. We get him in his pajamas and we turn the lights low, and I nurse him and turn on his white noise, his fan. I just realized the fan is on right now. Let's turn that off. I realized that's probably creating some unwanted background noise. Yeah, he's a little fussy now because it's almost his last nap time of the evening. We've been focusing a lot on the night sleep, which has really been paying off, but I haven't really been working as hard to get him in a nap schedule, which was something I worked a lot harder with the other two at this point. I remember I had Alex on like a 3 nap schedule at this point. I was like 9:30, 1:30, and 4:30. Those are the times I was really rigid about it. But I mean, first baby, right? Second child with Sophie, I was much more concerned about getting her on his nap schedule, and at the time he was taking a nap at 1 or 1:30, and so I got her on that nap schedule. Now I'm just like, neither of them nap anymore, so I'm just like, whatever, whenever he wants to snooze is fine with me. It's funny how you progress from child to child. You know, you just get more and more lax and comfortable, and like I said, you realize which things are important and which aren't. And for me, the night sleep is much more important than when he sleeps during the day, because it's actually helpful to have him be pretty adaptable when he naps, just because we have places to go and people to see, and having him nap whenever is much more flexible for our schedule. So I kind of like that, being more rigid about his night sleep but more flexible during the day for his day sleep. So he takes a nap when he needs one, don't you? But it is kind of falling into a schedule of like a 2/3 nap schedule, just depending on the day, depending on what time he woke up in the morning. And you know, if he woke up earlier, he'll take like 3 naps, and if he slept in later, then he'll take 2 naps. The one nap he does seem to be consistently doing is about like 2, 3 in the afternoon. That seems to be his time. And he does tend to do one in the morning, like the late morning or midday as well. That's how naps are going.
I love you, Mom.
I love you, Sophie.
I love you so much.
I love you so much, sweet girl.
I do.
Oh my goodness. She's so sweet. And you're so sweet. And Alex is so sweet. I've got sweet children. Well, anyway, in terms of postpartum, I'm still plateaued with my weight loss. It's just, oh, it's very frustrating. I mean, I know that this is just the struggle that I have with the body type that I have. I mean, I've been exercising about twice a week, like doing a hardcore workout like twice a week. Still plateauing. I think part of it is breastfeeding for me. It makes some people lose weight. For me, it keeps me flatlined, just maintaining. At least I'm maintaining. I did gain a little over the holidays, which it's come back down from that. But yeah, it's like my body just wants to hold on to that. It's like, oh, just in case, we got to have those reserves. I mean, this is how it was with my other kids as well, and I know that's just how my body was. I'm glad that I didn't gain too much weight with him this time. I'm about at the same place where I was at about the same point postpartum with my second pregnancy, even though I had gained more weight in that pregnancy. So I've lost less weight, but at the same place postpartum, I'm at about the same weight. I know it'll just take time, and I know it's hopeful to me now that I'm on my very last baby that the progress that I do make will stay since I won't be getting pregnant again, hopefully. I am starting to get a little bit of that like postpartum hair loss. You can probably see that just, you know, around my face. I have noticed, and this happened with my other pregnancies as well, is when I was pregnant, a lot of my inflammatory issues, a lot of my IBS issues, that kind of thing got a lot better because your immunity is down when you're pregnant, and then once you don't have that pregnancy hormone in your system anymore, like your body kind of goes back to how it was before, which is exactly what's happening now. A lot of my food sensitivities have come back, which is really annoying. So especially cow dairy and gluten, I've been trying to go easy on those, and I've always been sensitive to soy, even through my pregnancy. Soy and legumes I still have to avoid. So that's kind of annoying that, you know, my sensitivities are coming back, which leads to a lot of bloating and uncomfortableness. I think that also contributes to, you know, the difficulty with weight loss, especially when I'm not being super strict about avoiding the foods that bother me. I have been trying to be more so lately because, especially with dairy, if I eat it, then I'm like in pain. So I am trying to be more strict about that at least. Oh, you were sleepy, little guy. It's time for your evening nap, huh? I think that's pretty much it in terms of him and in terms of me postpartum. I think I'll probably do one of these updates every 2 months. That seems to work well just because I am like playing catch up right now with all the videos that I had been wanting to do during my pregnancy that I just didn't get to. I'm getting to them now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Give this a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you guys are new around here. And we will see you in the next video. Bye.